Did you miss me? It's been like, I don't know, like 3 days. How was Christmas? How did everybody fare? I'm so excited to see you. So we're doing this kind of backwards. I usually do the iPad on Instagram and the phone on Facebook. But guess what? So every, I don't know, couple weeks or a month, because I do a lot of things with my Facebook and my Instagram, it starts to take up a lot of my storage. So I have to uninstall and then reinstall it. And for some reason, Instagram doesn't want to give me camera access on my iPad. And I spent 20 minutes trying to fix it, and I was like, psh, whatever. We could just do it backwards. So I figured this. Let me just adjust you guys a teeny little bit here on Facebook. So we're going to end up editing the Facebook version instead of the Instagram for the video later. So this is what we're going to do today. Today we're going to do basic Q&A 101 questions. Are you new? Are you starting? Are you getting back on track? Are you getting geared up for the new year? But I figured while I'm waiting for you guys to pop on and ask questions, we would roll out the cheese dough that I made yesterday and show you how to make some crackers so that I can have the footage as well to finish it as a video. So I did post the recipe on how to make this on my page, and I will include it in the video. It's as easy peasy as it can be. So I used 1 cup of any melting cheese. I used Jalapeno Havarty. And then you use 1 egg, 1 3/4 cups of nut flour. I used 1 cup of almond and 3/4 cup of walnut meal. It's lower in carb, and I like the flavor and I like the texture. And that's how we made that. So you warm up the cheese, you add half of your nut flour, add your egg, add the other half, and I set it aside. Now, I did post some crackers on my feed last night, and then as well, I made hamburger steak last night for everybody, and I used this dough, and I made a small little beef Wellington for me, and that's also posted on my page, so I'll include that probably in the video recipe so you guys can see how to do that as well. And it's just a hamburger inside of this thin dough. And then I sprinkled it with some sesame seasoning, which we're going to use on our crackers as well. So, and this one I get from Epicure, and it's a sesame crunch one. And I was thinking, let's do a couple different flavors of crackers. I want to do some Frank's Red Hot ones as well. And I was thinking maybe an urban, jumping out at me, urban garlic, and then let's see what other flavors jumped out that want to be made today. Ooh, fiery habanero and Jamaican jerk. I'm going to skip you both, and I'm going to say let's do, what other flavor should we do? If we do sesame crunch, we do Frank's Red Hot, and we do garlic and herbs, should we just do salt and pepper? Let's just do a salt and cracked pepper. You can never go wrong with a classic salt and cracked pepper cracker. So let's do those flavors, easy peasy. And what I love about this dough is it's versatile. You can make anything with it. I've made everything from pizza crust to hot dog wrap to crackers. It's a very basic, easy variation of fathead dough. I just didn't use any cream cheese because I don't have any on hand. So it's a very easy solution. And again, I'm the queen of portion control. I made the 1 batch last night. I made crackers. I made a small mini pretzel out of it. I made the dough for my little mini Wellington, which I ate 1 of, and I have half of the batch of the dough today. So we're going to use some of that for crackers, and then I'll save some of it for another project. But this has been chilling in the fridge overnight, and it makes it really nice and firm and good for rolling. I do find that wax paper or saran wrap work better for rolling out than parchment paper, just due to the moisture of the dough. So while we're getting that all set up, I'm going to see who's popped on and say some good mornings. Oh, hello, Neo. Hello, Barbara. It's so nice to see you guys. Keto Gangsta, hello. And I'm very, very excited. I'm curious to see how you guys fared your holidays. How did you do? Did you stay on track? Are you getting back on track? Are you just new to keto? Are you starting now? So we've got our dough chilled out and we're just gonna roll it. It's a little hard for me to do this. I've got it propped up so that I've got it the right height for you guys to see. So I'm propped up. Now, the thinner you roll this, the thinner your crackers are going to be. You can use a cutter to shape these out. Let me just brace this on myself here so that I can roll a little bit better. The thinner you roll them, the crisper your crackers are going to be. I rolled it out for cracker thickness for the Little Wellington, which is, again, just a beef patty that I put together with my thin coating. So, depending on how crispy you want your crackers to be, that's how thin you want to roll them out. I did grab a little cutter as well. I find it's easier just to cut them into little nib shapes that you want and then go from there. But they are a nice one that you can cut with a cookie cutter as well. The one thing I will say is it doesn't matter what thickness you choose, but you want them to be uniformly that thickness. So you don't really want some that are really thin and some that are really thick because they won't bake up quite right for you. Now for me, this is, let's go a little bit thinner. I was going to say this is the thickness I want, but I want a teeny little bit thinner than that. Now, if you want a puffier cracker, you can do this as a twice baked cracker. Leave it a little bit thicker. You bake them, cool them, and then bake them again, and it makes them double crispy. So that's about the thickness that I want for my cracker. I'm going to, so you guys can see thickness-wise. And for these ones, let's do some rounds. I picked up some cool, fun round sizes as well. And just stamp them out, and then I'll put them on the sheet. You sprinkle them with whatever flavor you want, and that's it. I bake them until they're crispy from 250 to 300, depending on the heat of your oven. And that's it. They're the easiest, quickest snack that I can put together. If, for example, we're doing, you know, nacho chips for a night, or everybody is having pizza. This is a super quick way to do up my pizza doughs, to do up any of my flavors. So I'm just going to pop these onto my cookie sheet in their little cracker rounds, and then we're going to sprinkle them with the flavor. Now I'm going to dock them, but if you don't dock them, they will puff up more like, I don't know, like a goldfish cracker or something like that. So we're going to pop them on there. The nice thing about keto baking is that it doesn't shift in size for the most part. It doesn't usually expand or shrink when you bake it. It's usually pretty uniformly sized. So I don't have to worry about the crackers getting too big. I don't have to over space them. I can just pop them onto the tray. So while I'm getting these set up, if you guys have any beginners questions, getting back on track questions, anything that you're curious about, or just stuff you want to chat about from over the holidays, pop it in there. And once I get this one done, we will take a scroll and see what you guys want to chat about. It was a really good holiday at my house. I can't lie. It was nice having Diana for Christmas this year. And we had a really, really nice, quiet family Christmas at my house. I'm hoping you guys had something similar. And if not, let's chat about that. If you guys are struggling with family stress and it leads to stress eating, we can chat about that and how to deal with that, not just on the holidays, but every day, because let's be honest, we're all under stress. There is not one of us that leads a stress-free life. Don't we wish though? Like, wouldn't that be so awesome? I'm putting it out there and saying, yay, stress-free. I think we all have issues, things on the go though, that none of us gets to live stress-free. So I'm going to roll this back up so that we can get just a couple more, and then we'll take our scroll and see what's up with you guys. And you know what? No judgment. If you were successful over Christmas or if you struggled over Christmas, we are equally here for you. If you had a good time and you want to celebrate that you stayed on plan and you didn't go off track, we celebrate with you. If you had a hard time and you're feeling guilty, we say we love you and don't feel guilty. We're getting back on track together and we got this. So feel free to pop in the comments how the holidays were for you, because you know what, there's no shame in either. There is great success in not going off plan, but also sometimes our greatest victories come from realizing that the off-plan foods don't make us happy anymore. And it might be kind of quaint, and maybe some people will get mad at me for saying it out loud, but you don't know you don't love them anymore if you don't do that once in a blue moon. You know, the times that I've eaten something that was off plan, it certainly served as a reminder to me that I don't like those foods anymore, and those foods don't like me anymore. And sometimes it's nice to have that reminder that the emotional connections we have with foods are sometimes just that. They're an emotional connection that we have to an old food and an old way of life and an old mindset that doesn't serve us anymore. And there isn't anything wrong with letting those things go and accepting that, you know what, it's just not part of my new life and my new health plan. But sometimes you need to do that to remember that, you know what, whatever, insert bad food makes you sick. Okay, so we're going to dock these. And I'm thinking I want to do the sesame flavor on these ones. Let me grab a fork because I clearly didn't bring one of those out. My whole family is still home for the holidays, and it will be for quite a while. So we're going to have some interesting pop in and out schedule for the next little while I'm working around my family. I usually do this stuff during the day when everyone is gone, or in the evenings if my fiance is working evenings. But it'll just be a mishmash of around when we can make it, is how it's going to be for the next while. So I'm going to sprinkle these ones with my sesame flavor on top. And then let's take a peek and see if we have any questions, because really rolling out dough is not all that super exciting. But when I post the pictures later for you guys, it'll be more exciting and fun. So that's batch 1, flavor 1, ready to go into the oven. And let's take a peek and see what everybody has for questions. Deborah says, Merry Christmas. How many carbs a day do you eat? Do you count your grains? I'm getting started, so I need lots of help. Yay, we love it, Deborah. That's perfect, and you have come to the right place, baby girl. So for carbs a day, most people like to stick to 20 grams of carbs a day. I eat a bit less than that. It's usually 12 to 13 grams of carbs a day for me personally. What I will always say is focus on your fat first. So when you look at any meal, think, what kind of fat do I feel like cooking in today? Oh, I really feel like bacon fat. And then from there, you pick your meat. Am I going to have chicken, beef, pork, fish? What am I eating? Then you pick your veggie side. Always focus on your fats, your meats, and then what veggies you want next, and you'll be good, whether you track or whether you don't track, because some of you are going to have serious weight loss goals, and you're going to want to track. Some of you are like me, and we just want to eat healthy, make good choices, have a good time. I don't track on the daily anymore, but some of you are going to want to, especially if you have really strict goals in mind and you want to be able to hit those in a timely fashion. Tracking is very, very helpful for that. Not everybody loves it. For some people, it's stressful. For some people, it's an emotional trigger to the old way of dieting. So I say honor yourself. And if you're a tracker, track. If you're not a tracker, don't track. When you're making a life change, that is already stressful enough. So don't add more onto it than you need to. If you know you're not the kind of person who tracks things and you get really stressed out when you track things, then don't focus on doing that. Focus on eating healthier keto foods. Get your fat, get your moderate protein, your yummy lower carb veggies, and don't stress about the numbers until you're at a point where you can manage to do that. So number one tip I can give you is don't overwhelm yourself. Don't have the feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna start a diet, like a whole brand new way of life in 3 days, and I don't know enough. I have to learn everything, oh my God, in 3 days, because I have to lose like 20 pounds in like a month, dude, in a month. So all I will say is take a step back, relax, and realize that we're on a healthy journey together. There isn't a set, I have to do this by this day. You don't have to amass a certain amount of knowledge by January 1 to start keto. You just have to want to know that you're excited and you want to try new foods and you want to make new friends and have a good time. And we can start there. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know you want to know. That's it. That's it. I hope that helps. I hope that helps at least for a beginning. We have lots and lots of amazing beginners information. Now, I don't know if you're just new and starting, have you joined my Facebook groups? And I say groups because we have main group, which is Colorful Keto Lifestyle. And then we have a few subgroups for specific issues. We have a bariatric subgroup, a beginner's keto subgroup. We have a mindset subgroup. So there's a lot of really great information that I've got out there for you guys. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them. Sometimes it takes a while to get back after the live and answer them, but I do try really, really hard to circle back and get them all. But always definitely when I'm on live, comment. Sometimes with the delay, we don't see them. I don't always see them until after the live. But again, I will try to circle back. So I know that I've been getting questions about family and friends as well. You know what? All of a sudden, I saw a lot of people over the holidays. They're asking, ooh, how did you lose that weight? What are you doing? And they've got all these questions and I don't know how to answer them. Dory, what do I do? And I'm going to say, point them in the direction of the groups that you love, your support groups, the people that you follow on Instagram. Nobody wants to be that person knocking on everyone's door going, have you heard the good news? Have you heard the good news of keto yet? So you know what, you don't have to lead your family by the hand. You just have to lead them in the right direction, right? We all found our tribe and the people who help us grow. So you just need to help point them in the right direction. Say, hey, I follow, this and that person on Instagram. Why don't you check them out? These are my favorite YouTube channels. Why don't you go check them out? I know for me, that was how I started. And to be honest with you, you can only help people and direct them so much, right? Nobody wants someone to do everything for them. And unless they come to you for the specific hand holding, they might not need it. They might just need hey, these are the fun recipes I like. These are some of the fun people I follow. I found this Facebook group really helpful. Why don't you go start with those things and let me know if you have more questions, right? Because I've been through that a million times too, where someone will come to you and they've got a million questions and you start panicking and you're like, okay, well, where do I even begin to amass all of this information for them? And at the end of 2 weeks, they're like, well, nah, I decided it wasn't really for me anyhow. And you're like, Oh, well, because I just did all this research for you. So you don't want the research then that I did for you in my free time that I don't really have that much of. Oh, okay. Well, maybe next time then. maybe, maybe next time. So if you don't want to spend, 2 weeks amassing knowledge for people, there's a whole year worth of knowledge in my group that you can share and just be like, go check that out and see. If you have more questions, let me know. And I think that's the best way that we can bring our friends and family around. It's not by preaching at them, oh, you eat garbage. I hope you're going to die. Like, do you care about being healthy or no? Not so much? No? Okay. I don't think we need to be like that with our friends and family. They're going to ask. Trust me, they're going to ask you what you're doing, what you're eating, how you're so happy, why you have that extra pep in your step. We don't need to, hunt people down to convince them that keto is really good for them. So I say that, just be open, share your journey, let people know, you know what, this is me, this is what I'm doing. We don't have to make them want it. Mary says, my daughter's going to start keto. Yay! And I've been directing her to different groups and recipes. Yes, mama. I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear all of her success. And I hope that our group is one of the groups and we get to hang out with your daughter. I'm excited to meet your daughter. Deborah says, I'm bariatric post-sleeve, did well for about the first 100 to 150 I wanted to lose, and then gained back 60 pounds. Gallbladder out, feel yucky, tired and old, lots of tummy issues, everything bothers me. TMI, but it goes right through me. Never TMI. I just want to let you know that, never TMI. We talk about poop stuff, right guys? We talk about poop stuff. We totally do. Like, I'm not going to lie. We totally talk about the poo stuff. I'm going to move you guys closer because I think we're done doing crackers. I think we're just going to hang out and chit chat now. So I'm going to grab my chair and move you guys closer. I will say, honey, same thing. I had my bariatric surgery, it'll be coming on 8 years now ago. I did really good. I lost 130 pounds and I did really, really good. And then my mom passed away and I hadn't learned about food. I hadn't learned about preparing healthy food, eating healthy food. I'd learned about restricting my portions. That was easy, right? The surgery did that part for me. And then when my mom passed away, I got smart and I learned to out-eat my surgery because I couldn't eat a whole chocolate bar, but I could eat a bite now and a bite in 20 minutes and a bite in 20 minutes. And I could still eat a whole chocolate bar all day long. And in my sadness, I really went back to all of the old things. All of the old things that I used to do, I just was eating less. And in my head, I thought it was okay because it was less. I was like, wow, so whatever. I ate a donut today, Like old fat Dory would have eaten 6 donuts. So whatever, poo on you. I ate 1 donut. I'm not going to get fat off of 1 donut. But guess what happened? I started to get fat off of 1 donut, 1 chocolate bar, 1 bag of chips that took me all day long to eat. And I regained 20 pounds, only 20, but it might as well have been 100. Like for how I felt about myself and how the failure sunk in and to be honest with you, how the naysayers were waiting for me to fail. Like there were a lot of people who didn't want me to have surgery and they were waiting for it to fail. So as soon as I started to gain weight, they couldn't wait to be like, see, told you so, in your face. I told you going the easy way wasn't going to work in the end. And I was like, girl, you don't know easy way. Like you don't know from easy way. And if anybody ever says to you, oh, weight loss surgery is the easy way, that's the first statement that they say out loud that lets me know they don't know what they're talking about. Like as soon as they say, oh, that's the easy way, must be nice for you, I'm like, okay, that's my indicator number 1. You don't know what you're talking about. Just saying, you not a clue. Might be nice, but you don't got a clue. Okay, so Deborah, keto was the answer for me. I never knew it was going to be the answer. I found it by accident. I wasn't looking for a diet. I was really angry about it, actually. It totally happened to me by accident. My girlfriend wanted to try the latest, weight loss shake, and you could lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. And so I split a 2-week supply with her. And the day it arrived, she messaged me and she's like, oh my God, Dory, you're going to be so excited. I was Googling the best way to make use of these supplements, and there's a whole diet. And I was like, what now? Pardon you now? You better back up off me with the D word if you want to be my friend. Like, I said I would have a shake. I said I would drink a shake with you every day for 2 weeks. I never said I would diet. I believe I swore in her face. Actually, I did. I know I did. Don't swear at your friends. It's not nice. Like, it's not nice. So take that also as note. Sometimes people will not react nicely when you tell them, because I was not nice. I was not nice. I was carby Barbie. I was not a happy lady. I was very angry that she would say the D word out loud to me in my presence, like to my face. Like, to my face. Actually, though. Well, we were on the phone, so not to my face. But you know what I mean. Like, it was basically to my face. Duh. D word? Are you kidding me right now? And she was all, oh no, Dory, you're gonna love this one. Kathy! Pause for a moment when I see Kathy arrive. Hello! You're gonna love this one, Dory. This diet is different than any diet you've ever seen. And I remember she made me promise to watch the video. It was 29 minutes long, and she was like, it's a long one, but promise you'll watch the whole thing. And I remember holding my phone out. This is just my empty case, but I was holding my phone out, and I remember looking at it, and I remember thinking, that's right, diet guy. I don't like your face. I don't like your face. I don't even like it. So why don't you tell me, dog, go lay down, you and your clippy nails. Why don't you tell me how I'm going to love this new diet? Why don't you start and tell me? And he started out the video by talking about bulletproof coffee, and I was like, ew, that's gross. Ew. If I hadn't promised to watch this video, I would have turned it off already. And then he started talking about different foods, and something happened. He said, bacon. Bacon. And I was like, hello. I like bacon. Tell me more. Tell me more. I'm interested. I'm officially interested now. And he talked about high-fat cheeses and sour cream and heavy whipping cream and all of the things that I really love. So I finished watching the video, and I called her, and I was like, okay, maybe you could send me like a little bit more information about your diet, but not too much, because I'm not sure if I want to do it, but a little bit. And she sent me a couple videos, and you know what? It was me who went off the rail and not her. I decided it was a lifestyle change for me. I was going to do it. I don't know where the motivation came from, to be honest with you. I've never been motivated to diet, like, for more than 3 days. I could sort of stick to a diet for 3 days ish. And by ish, I mean, you know, the stuff that you sneak that doesn't count because nobody was looking at that. Like, I totally didn't cheat on my diet. Nobody even saw me do that. I don't know what you're talking about. I even hid the wrapper in everything. What? Diet success. Hello, me. So I don't honestly know why the thought occurred to me to be like, yeah, I could totally do this time. But I just decided I would, that it was going to be a lifestyle change. I didn't have the diet pressure. I could, learn as I went. I could make one healthy choice a day. I decided that if I was doing one thing healthier each day, that I was a rock star. And that's all I had to do, was make one healthier choice every day. And that was it. That was how I began. And from there, I learned everything I needed to learn. Like, I don't know how to say it any easier than that. I decided one day, and then I just learned what I needed to learn to do it. Okay, so my Kathy. Stephanie says, I started low carb after my weight loss surgery, and after 18 months, I transitioned to keto. Keto has been the best for me. And you know what? I hear that. Like, and here's the irony. When I wanted to start keto, everyone said it wasn't for me. Sorry, no, keto's not for you. You've already had weight loss surgery. You already did it the easy way. You don't really get any help. Sorry, you kind of like maxed out. Yeah, sorry. You know, healthy food and good diets, not really for you. You had the surgery. You already did that. So, like it or lump it, you get what you get. And when I was looking in keto groups, could you not please, dog? Thank you. Sorry, she drinks like a cow. I don't know why she does that, but she does that. The first thing I did was I went to go calculate my macros. And it said, because of course, it calculates by the average, right? It doesn't take anything else into effect. So when I calculated my macros, because I only had 20 pounds that I wanted to lose, it said that I needed to eat 1,600 calories a day. Now, if you guys have a normal sized stomach, you're like, oh, 1,600 calories. That's not bad. I could totally do 1,600. Some people might think, oh, that's a little bit too much. Some people might think, oh, that's a lot of food. For me, I went, are you kidding me right now? I will die. I will die. I only eat what you feed a toddler. There's no way I can eat 1,600 calories a day. It can't happen. I can't physically do it and not injure myself. Sorry about your luck. So I went to keto groups and I said, so what happens if I can't eat 1,600 calories? What happens then? And what I got was a resounding, oh, then it's not for you. Sorry, keto's not for you. If you can't eat at least 1,600 calories a day, you can't. Because if you can't eat that much food, you just can't keto. And I was like, well, but that doesn't make any sense because I already eat this amount of food. I've been eating this amount of food for 7 years and I haven't died. So I don't know what foods I'm choosing to eat would change because I've already proven I can survive on this quantity of food for 7 years. I'm not dead. So I know I can. But resoundingly all the way around the board, nobody would help me figure out how to do that. I literally had to figure that out by myself. And the way I did that was I tracked the food I could eat. So I kept in mind my percentages, my high fat, my moderate protein, my low carb, and I started eating, I won't lie, everything I wanted. I didn't limit myself. If I was hungry, I ate. If I wasn't hungry, I didn't eat. I tracked all of that food. And at the end of 2 months, I took a look at how much I eat every day and then adjusted my fats, my protein, and my carb level based on how much food I actually consume comfortably, right? Comfortably. Because technically, with only 20 pounds to lose, I had already decided that I was going to run my keto maintenance mode. I was never going to focus on weight loss as a goal. I wanted to focus on a new healthy lifestyle as a lifestyle. And I decided, you know what, if I lose that 20 pounds in a month or in a year, it doesn't really matter. It will eventually go away. And I decided right away that it wasn't my main focus. And I think that's beneficial in mindset. I think that if your only motivation is to lose 20 pounds or lose 40 pounds or fit into an old dress, I think when it gets really hard and when it gets really rough, I think you're going to find you need more motivation than that to keep going. When you see the foods you really want to eat that you know you don't want to eat, you might need more motivation than one day I might wear, my high school grad dress again. So keep that in mind when you're deciding why you want to do keto. It's so important to have the right mindset around any lifestyle change. whether it's eating, whether it's diet, whether it's self-care, whether it's self-love, no matter what kind of journey you're on, it's so important to make sure that you have the right motivation to carry you through. The first couple days when it's easy, we all got that. But when it comes past that, what our true motivation is, that's going to be what's going to pull you through at the end of any journey. Okay, Miss Kathy's giggling at me. I love you, girl. I love you. You're so funny. Deborah says macros are confusing for me. So you know what? If they're confusing for you, you don't have to track them. You don't have to track macros to be successful. It just makes it easier. Tracking is a tool like any other tool in your journey. If you don't want to track, if tracking is stressful for you, if it's confusing for you, if it's going to make it more difficult for you, don't do it. Don't do it. Focus on your fats first, then your moderate protein, then your veggies. And let's talk about what that looks like, because all day long I could say blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about what that looks like. So when I say focus on your fats first, I mean, I use the rule of thumb. So 1 thumbful or 1 tablespoon of fat on everything I eat. So when I made my Wellington, I made sure I added pork rinds. Then I added cheese so that I was getting the extra fat. I add avocado oil. I add all of my good healthy fats. So say, for example, I was having an egg cup and I made myself an egg cup and a piece of sausage. I would put a little bit of butter or sausage fat on my egg, a little bit of cheese, and maybe a little bit of sour cream to get the extra fat. When I eat my vegetables, I will cut up my Brussels sprouts and I'll add butter or coconut oil or ghee or bacon fat or sausage grease, and I will cook it in that. And then that's how I do it, easy peasy. I don't overeat my meat, but I was never a big, huge meat eater. So, for example, you would take your piece of steak or your pork chop, that's your main. You add your fat to that. Then you look at your vegetable side and say, for example, you were doing Brussels sprouts with bacon fat and crumbled bacon on it. And then for your other side, you could do, I really love a cauliflower bake. That's really yummy. Or a salad with olive oil or avocado oil with your dressing. I like to make my homemade dressings as well. They're pretty quick and easy. My favorite thing to do, actually, I won't lie, is I use the last little bit that I have in my ketchup bottle, and then I make my dressing. So I used my last little bit of my spicy tomato ketchup, and I added some vinegar, a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I added some water, my healthy oils. I added some Italian seasoning. I added a little bit of olive juice, and then I just mix it up and I keep it in my fridge, and it uses up my little bits of my extra. Because, like, seriously, it's gold at my house. People ask for my ketchup and I'm like, what? My ketchup? Not like the other sugar-free one I buy, but my one? Yeah, they want my one. Like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like saying no, but I feel like I should share also. But then I'm like, no, because it's mine. And you get junk food and chocolate bars, and that's my ketchup. Hashtag, I'm not greedy, it's just mine. That's a thing, right? Yeah, that's totally a thing. I don't even feel bad about that. That's totally a thing. Okay. Yes, Kathy says, make your meat your carrier for your fat. Everything is a carrier for fat. Let's be honest. Everything we eat can be a carrier for fat. How else do we get that high of a percentage of fat? Now I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I have a friend who very, very recently started keto, a very close friend of mine that I've known for years and years. And he phoned me last week and he said, Dory, I'm struggling. I'm still hungry. Why am I still hungry when I'm eating all of this fat? And I was like, okay, you're eating all this fat. Tell me what you're eating. And he was eating things like chicken with sour cream and cheese on it, which is good. pepperoni sticks and cream cheese. Again, not bad, high fat. But as he was going on and telling me all of the things he was eating, I said, okay, but what fat are you eating? And he's like, well, cheese and sour cream and pepperoni sticks. And I'm like, okay, those are things with fat in them, but they're not fat. So what are you adding fat to? What are you throwing your butter on? What are you eating your bacon fat on, baby? What are you putting your olive oil on? And he goes, well, but I'm not doing any of those things. Okay, so then you're not eating all that fat. You're just eating fatty foods, right? You can eat high fat ground beef, and you can add sour cream and cheese to it and taco seasoning, and you can eat that. You can even throw some pork rinds on it because pork rinds are good fat, but you're not adding any fat. So how do you get 70% fat, 20% protein if you're just eating fatty protein? So there's the question that I pose. How fatty would your fatty meat have to be? How fatty would your fatty meat have to be fatty enough? Like, how much fat would your bacon have to have on it to be fatty enough bacon to be like, oh, I eat bacon, that's fat. That's fat. Well, bacon fat is fat. Bacon is protein and fat. It's pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio. But if you throw some extra bacon fat on it, that's how you're getting your extra fats. So you don't necessarily have to track if you don't want to. Just keep in mind, you want to get your fat first. So literally your first thought should be, what fat do I want for this meal? Am I in the mood for butter? Am I in the mood for bacon fat? Am I in the mood for olive oil? What kind of fat am I in the mood for? If fat is always your first thought, you will never stress about how to get enough. Bottom line, it's the hardest thing to wrap your brain around and the easiest thing to understand once you do. I fought the fat for months and months and months. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Just saying. If you are trying to do a lower fat version of keto right now, let me save you the 5 months of frustration and tell you it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Want to know how I know it doesn't work? Want to know? Do you really want to know? Because I'm stubborn. And fat makes you fat, and high fat is not good for you. And the other things in the diet are okay. Like, the less carbs, that's good. The more salt, yeah, I even could wrap my brain around the more salt. I was okay with that. But the more fat, I was like, oh, well, I'm just not going to do that part. I'm just not going to do that part. The only single most important part of the diet, I'm just not going to do that part. I don't really need to do that part. I think I've always had that complex where I thought I could just pick what parts of things I wanted to do and be like, oh, I'm totally going to be keto, but I'm not going to eat high fat. Now let that sink in for a second. And realize that in my ultimate stubbornness, I did that for like 5 months. And some things were awesome. Some things were good. Some things were not good. I was not as happy as I am now. Without the fat, you're not so happy. Like, when they say fat people are jolly, it might not be because they are fat. It might be because they eat it. It might be because... might be they're jolly just because they eat it. Because, man, eating the fat makes me happy. Now that I've wrapped my brain around it, and it took so long, and it wasn't just me. You know what? When I looked at the keto diet and I started doing my research and looking up stuff and going, oh, honey, what do you think of this video? Honey, what do you think of that article? He was like, well, it makes sense. It sounds good, but maybe not all that fat. I'm concerned about you. I don't want you to have a heart attack. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. That sounds legit. So maybe keto, but not so much fat. Okay, guys. So what is keto with not so much fat? Would that just be low carb? Maybe Atkins. I don't know enough about Atkins to know, but it wasn't keto. So if you guys are on that thought train, I must save you that trouble and be like, dude, it don't work. It don't work. Let's save you the 5 months of frustration. Let's save you the 5 months of not having your optimal health. Let's save you the 5 months of not losing any weight. Why did I stay motivated after all that time of not losing weight? Again, good question. I don't know. I don't know. When people message me things like, I've been eating keto for 2 weeks and I haven't lost any weight yet, I'm frustrated, I'm going to quit, I go, okay, I don't really know what to say, because I didn't lose any weight, 0 pounds, 0 ounces, no weight for 6 months. But I did it. I did it because I was getting healthy. I was trying something new. I was having a good time. I was enjoying my food. I was being a colorful keto rock star, which, by the way, I did actually make a hashtag for you guys. But when I made it, there was nobody following me to use it. Just saying. Nobody following me to use it. But I made it for you. Because I decided that just one healthy choice made that. One. I didn't have to know everything. I didn't have to learn everything. I just had to make one healthy choice today. Today's the day you cut out, vegetable oil. Yay, you're a rock star. You made a healthy choice. That's going to improve your health. It doesn't have to be everything all at once. One. Choose one thing. Do one thing a day and you're succeeding, I promise. If you make one healthy choice every day, that's 365 healthy choices in a year. Now, please tell me that 365 healthy choices are not going to improve your health in a year. Please. Please. Like, I would love for anybody to get back up on their soapbox and tell me that one choice a day is not going to improve your health. Because in 1 year from now, 365 healthy decisions are going to impact where you are. There's no way they can't. And that's only one choice a day. What happens if today's the day you get up and you do 3 healthy things for you? What? There's no limit. Like, even because I said you only had to do one, there's no limit. Like, you could do 5 if you wanted to. But you only have to do one to be successful. Do one thing and continue doing that one thing. Get successful at that one thing and then add one more thing, right? You don't have to overwhelm yourself with, for lack of a better term, the entire world's problems in a day, right? We don't have to take it all on. We don't have to tackle it all today. Today, we just have to make one choice. Today, our choice can be, you know what, my family's going out for takeout burgers. I'm not going to have a bun. Guess what? What? You're a rock star. You made your choice today. You made your healthy choice today. And guess what? You might even make 2 choices and say, I'm not even going to have no French fries. But no pressure, right? No pressure. If you don't have the bun, but you do have 4 French fries, you still made a healthy choice. And maybe next time you'll make another healthy choice and another healthy choice. And soon it'll get to the point where making healthy choices are the regular, and it's no longer an effort to make a healthy choice. It only takes a certain amount of time to make choosing healthy options the only option. Eventually it seems silly to do anything else. I can promise you that. Kathy! Oh, Carol, avocado. Do you know what a lot of people use avocado for fat? I don't dig the avocado. They're very expensive where I live. They seem to be like hard like rock and then mushy like garbage within 5 seconds of each other. So I've never loved the avocado. I do love guacamole though. What? Guacamole. That's about the only experience I have with avocado is the guacamole. And I've tried. Do you want to know a secret? I know a secret. It doesn't taste like anything and it's slimy. Like, it's a textural issue, I think. I'm like, ew. No offense if you love avocados. I still love you. But when I look at them, I go, ew. Oh, Carol wants to know if throwing your fat clothes out counts. Yes. Yes, that counts as a non-scale victory. And let's talk about that. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go there, dude. How many times has someone said to you, are you sure you want to throw out all your fat clothes? What happens if you gain that weight back? What happens if I punch your face? I'm just asking, hypothetically. Just put it out there. What happens if you gain all that weight back? What happens if I punch your face? I'm just asking, because we already have those thoughts for our own selves. How many times have you gone through your closet and thought, oh, maybe I better not get rid of those fat pants just in case. But you know what? That also, it just continues a mindset of failure. If you think, you know what happens? Well, you know what I'm going to tell you? What's the honest truth? What happens? What happens when you got too fat for the clothes you had before? I have knees and elbows. I stretched that. I stretched it. I stretched it out. I have knees and I have elbows. And I'll tell you what, an extra large can be a 3X. I will be damned if I'm going to save a box of clothes that I don't ever want to fit in again, just in case I might have to fit in them again. No, I won't do it. I won't do it. And if it comes to the point where I need those bigger sizes again, then you know what? I'm going to suck it up and I will buy them. I will hate it, but I will buy them. But I'm not going to keep that safety net for myself. And you know what? My original weight was 290 pounds and I'm 145 now. Can you imagine what my wardrobe would have looked like if I had kept all of my clothes all the way up to a 3X and I just kept them for in case I got fat again? You know, I don't ever want that in my life again. So why would I build myself a safety net for it? I won't. And if somebody tells you should, don't threaten violence on them. I don't really recommend that. I know that is what I said out loud, but don't do that. Don't be like Dory. He's wrong. Just saying, he's wrong. Stephanie says, it is so freeing to get my big clothes out of my house. And isn't it? Honestly, isn't it just the greatest admission to yourself that you're not going back? And here's the other thing. Someone else needs them. Someone else will love them. Someone else is struggling to clothe themselves in a way that they can feel attractive and good about themselves. So you know what? When you keep those clothes sitting in the back of your closet, guess who doesn't get to have them? People who really need them. So let that sink in for a second too, and think about, not only are you maybe causing yourself mindset issues by holding on to those things, someone else needs them. There is someone else who would benefit from them that, can get them gifted to them or purchase them at a low cost at a secondhand store that needs them. So do you know what? Let's shed the old and bring the new into our lives, because we're done with that and we ain't going back. I posted a meme a while back. It's on my feed. Find it. It's funny. And it says, when weight tries to come back on you and you're like, we ain't together no more. What? And it's true. We ain't together no more. And I ain't taking you back. So don't be thinking you're going to leave a suitcase in the back of my closet in case you want to come back. We ain't ever getting back together. Just like my ex. We ain't never getting back together. Never going to happen. Carol says I take them to the thrift store, and that's a great idea. I also make good use of the consignment store in my town. So I'm able to take clothes to consignment. They sell them. I can use that money towards purchasing something that fits me better. That's a great way to do it. You guys saw I did the church thrift sale. So that's a great way to save money. Secondhand stores, garage sales, online shopping, sell sites in your local area. All of these things will help stretch your fashion dollar, because here's the thing. We don't go to all of this effort to lose all of the weight, to, pardon my French, look like an asshole. I don't want to look like an asshole. I don't want to wear clothes that are too big for me, that are visibly too big for me. It's one thing as a fashion statement to be like, I'm extra. And it's something else when people are like, girl, you ain't fooling nobody. That don't fit you. You ain't fooling nobody. That ain't oversized. That is too big for you. So none of us want that, right? We don't want that. And for me, I find that I literally need a new wardrobe almost every 3 months. So buy it on the cheap, get it secondhand, get pieces that transition with you size-wise. And if you have questions about how to do that, we can talk about that stuff too. It's not just keto. We can talk about that too, because that is such a big part of our weight loss journey, is learning how to re-wardrobe over and over again at a reasonable price. Learning how to get over the guilt from that too, right? Like, we don't want to spend that money on ourselves. Getting past that, well, I'm going to wait till I'm the next size. When I'm the next size down, when I lose another 20 pounds, after I've lost 50 pounds. How many of us have that goal? After I lose 100 pounds, I'll buy myself a new wardrobe. Okay, well, what are you supposed to do until you lose 100 pounds? You just supposed to walk around wearing clothes that are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you lose 100 pounds, and then you officially deserve new clothes. We got to let some of that go, right? These things are sometimes counterproductive. Sometimes they make good goals to say, hey, you know what, when I lose 20 pounds, I'm going to buy myself a new black sweater. Or when I lose 30 pounds, I'm going to, take my husband out for a nice keto dinner. Whatever they are. But we have to remember to not get stuck on those goals, one. And two, make them small attainable goals. Because if your goal, one, is 100 pounds, there is a lot of sadness and disappointment before you get to celebrate anything. And that's not a life worth living. We need to celebrate the little stuff. Patty says, I like leggings because they fit several sizes and they're so comfy. Yes, leggings. I love skinny jeans have become my new love of my life. They seem to be the only thing that fits me these days. But again, leggings will only carry you so far. When they're meant to be leggings and they fit you like loose pants, leggings aren't supposed to fit like sweatpants. Put that out there. I have leggings that would fit me like sweatpants if I still kept them. So weed through as you go. But yes, you can supplement your wardrobe with things like tank tops and leggings and sweaters that you can style in different ways to expand your wardrobe. And we're going to go into that some in the new year as well. How to re-wardrobe. What are important pieces? What are pieces that I would call investment pieces that are worth spending money on? And what are transitional clothing pieces that you want to buy on the cheap because you're going to be wearing them all of the time? And the things that skim right down the middle, like bras. Bras and underwears are my nemesis. Just saying. I don't like bra shopping. We might have to do that. Okay, so I am going to sign out. I have no idea how long we've been on here for, but I feel like it's been a really long time. I feel like it's been a really, really long time. So Carol says her goal is 14 pounds by Valentine's Day is her new goal. And I love that. We always need to keep new goals. Fresh goals, right? This week's goal, this month's goal, this season's goal. We always want to do that. So let's focus a little bit on that. What's our daily goal for today? Well, an easy daily goal is to make one healthy choice. What is your weekly goal? I would like to drink more water this week. What is your monthly goal? For this month, I would like to lose 5 pounds. Or for this month, I would like to be able to walk up a flight of stairs and not feel winded. So that we have small goals all the way along to celebrate. Because the celebration is not only the part where we feel all of the feelings of success, but it's also where we draw our motivation for the next hard part, right? it's that feeling of, yes, I'm 5 pounds down, 150 more to go. Yes. You know, but it's that small, I've made that step. I've made a choice. I'm on my path. So 6 seconds left. Love you guys. Bye. And there we go. Because if we don't end it on Instagram, it goes away. We have to do that first. Okay, so we're going to share it there. We're going to finish up on Facebook as well. So it's awesome to hang out with you guys. I'm going to bake up these crackers, and then I'm going to post some pictures for you guys on the different flavors of crackers. I hope you have an awesome day, and we will hang out later. Like I said, kind of in between my family and what's up here, but we're going to get as much hanging in over the next couple of days as we can. See you soon, guys. And as always, if you have questions, make sure you post them, and I will circle back around and get to you when I can. Have a great day, guys. See you soon.